Any treatment that involves a hair loss process can be pretty overwhelming. The options and even the basic terminology can often seem elusive and hard to follow. I'm going to show you in this video what your different options are for each stage of this process. Throughout your hair loss journey, you're going to have different options at each step of the game. So some of those options might include top pieces, and that's going to cover just the top and the front, or you might have extension pieces that you're going to add in for filler, and you're also going to have full wigs. Those wigs are going to be a bunch of different styles. You might have a lace front, all of those things. We'll get more into the specifics of each piece in a bunch of different videos. But for this video, I want to talk about the overview of your process. So the first thing that's going to happen with your treatment is that you'll have some generalized guidelines. You'll know about what to expect to start experiencing a little bit of loss, to when you should be expecting more of that loss to occur. And then finally, when your treatment's over, about the estimated timeline for your hair to start filling back in. The first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna go and find a full wig that makes you feel confident and beautiful. Try to find something that is similar to the style that you have, that you feel matches your personality. That's gonna be really important because it's not gonna be the first step. The first step is going to be like when you start experiencing that minor hair loss, you're not gonna be ready for that wig just yet, but it will be really important as you feel not so hot health-wise. It'll be really nice to have that for when you're ready. So let's rewind. Going back, you've got your full wig in place, ready to go. You're gonna start experiencing a little bit of that hair loss. You have to make a decision when you start seeing that hair loss. You have to decide when you're going to cut your hair. That cut becomes really important because you can take your hair, if it's long enough and thick enough, you can use that hair and have it made into a partial piece, a wig, or into extensions that you'll use later in your process. So at this point, you'll need to make that decision of whether or not you're going to cut your hair and have it used for those other options. Two things to note: you'll need to note the length and the thickness. Most people won't have enough hair to make a full wig. Usually it's going to either be a partial, or if they're making a full wig, they'll supplement with other hair. The other thing is the length. The length of your hair, you're going to lose about 2 inches of length for when they root it into another product. So whether that's extensions or whether that's a wig, you're going to lose a bit of that length, and so you'll probably lose a little bit of that fullness as well, because it won't be situated quite the same way as it is now. It's important to keep in mind that if you do make the decision to use your hair for a wig or for extensions, that it's not going to be exactly the same and mimic what you have right now. So be open to a little bit of change, but a really familiar feeling. So if you've decided to cut your hair, you're probably moving straight into your wig piece that you've already purchased. If you do decide not to cut your hair, then you're ready for a different option. So you're going to start noticing a gradual hair loss. Pretty soon, your hair will start to be a little bit thinner than you'd like it to be, or maybe you'll start to see a really unfamiliar sheen on the top from where the light is hitting your scalp. For this piece, it's really nice to transition into a top piece. It will allow your bottom hair to feel very natural, have the same flow to it that you're used to, but it'll just fill in those areas that need a little bit of extra help. Once you start feeling like it's not quite cutting it anymore, that's when you're going to be ready to transition into the full wig. A lot of people at this point are like, well, what about extensions? The only reason why I don't recommend extensions is you are going through a medical treatment hair loss. If you put extensions into hair that's already kind of at a fragile state, what you're going to find is that your hair loss tends to be exaggerated. Those pieces that are put in rely on your natural hair being firmly anchored into your scalp, and you're going to find that the extra weight is going to exaggerate that hair loss and not make for a good transition. So I recommend going from the top piece directly into your full wig. We can talk about extensions later on when that natural hair becomes a lot more strongly rooted into the scalp. So from now, it will be into your full wig for the process of your treatment. Once you're done with your treatment and you start to find that your hair is growing back, you're going to start feeling a little bit more fullness around the scalp, and it's going to start growing out. Generally speaking, if you've done a full head of hair loss, you're going to have hair that seems to kind of grow outward instead of down. That's really, really common because you're seeing all of that growth coming straight out from all of the follicles. So don't get freaked out. Once you get a little bit further into that process, it's going to seem more full like that. You're going to transition into your top piece, and then also this is the time when those extensions will be appropriate. That hair should have a fairly strong hold. Again, that's going to be dependent on your treatment, and each medication is a little bit different. But you'll want to expect that you'll be able to add in your top piece and some filler pieces with extensions. Now these pieces can be on wefts, or they can be a full piece for the back. But these will be integrated with your natural hair and with your top piece. So this is going to transition you a little bit closer back to your natural hair. Once you get a little bit further, your hair is going to be longer, it's going to be a little bit thicker. You can start removing the pieces of extensions that are underneath, and then just start transitioning back to that top piece that you had from the beginning. So that top piece will just cover any thinning spots on the top or anything that doesn't quite look like it's grown into place. Then you're going to completely transition to your natural hair and remove the top piece. So that's going to get you all the way through your hair loss treatment process. Hopefully that gives you a little bit better of an idea of what to expect through going through this process. We are going to be covering topics like comparing synthetic and human hair wigs, a little bit what to expect on the durability, the customization of fit, and also deconstruction on how to use wigs and partials for different problem areas. If you appreciate this video, or you know somebody that could be benefited by this information, be sure to share and let them know that we're out here to help. And if you have any questions, just drop us a line. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. And if you liked this video, make sure that you subscribe to our channel so that you never miss a beat. And if you need products for your projects, check out doctoredlocks.com for all your hair extension needs.